Hey, Rockstars, Andrew Houston here with another no bullshit podcast for you guys, for all those contractors out there. You know, it's been raised to me, one of the biggest challenges is like, how do we get beyond ourselves? You know, it turns out that one of the biggest things holding us back is us. So I got Jeff Lee with me, you know, a contractor who's struggled with a lot of challenges, mindset areas of how he perceived what he should be focusing in on, you know, his perception of, you know, how to move the business forward and how he had to change certain things to take his business to the next level. That's what we're going to be talking about today, is the things that might be holding you back to actually allow you to break through and get to the next side, right? And move that business up to the next level. Again, I'm Andrew Houston from Profit for Contractors with another no bullshit podcast for you guys. I'll see you on the flip side.
Until right now, this very moment, contractors have always been on their own, not as tradespeople, but being alone and knowing how to take their business to the next level. They call us working class. They call us blue collar. They say that we don't have the smarts to become the business owner that we're meant to be. That is such bullshit. You have the ability. You're more than any of that. The question really is, where do you get the insights that you need specific to contracting to systemize your business so you can get your profits to pay for your freedom? I'm Andrew Houston. I'm going to show you how to make more profits, how to get more control, how to get more freedom in the simplest, quickest way possible without any of that bullshit. Welcome to the No Bullshit Podcast for Contractors. Listen up, level up, and if you learn something, like the video, subscribe to the channel, change your business, change your life.
All right, welcome to another no bullshit podcast, people. All you hardcore contractors out there. I got Jeff Lee with me today, and we are going to talk about how he's been able to improve his business, take things to the next level. And it's no bullshit. It's not the perfect story. There is no perfect story. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. How's that sound, Jeff?
Perfect. Let's do this.
Let's do it, baby. So where are you located, by the way?
So technically it's Orono, Ontario. I don't know if anyone knows where that is. So let's just go with, bottom of the 115. So
bottom of the 115, baby.
That's it.
Cool. What kind of business, what kind of contractor are you? Tell them a little bit about what you do, and then we'll talk a little bit about, you know, who this podcast is for and who it isn't for.
Sure, man. Yeah. General contractor. We pretty much do it all. So the vision when I started this was to provide value for everyone I did business with. So I wanted to be able to take care of the whole shebang. It wasn't one piece of the puzzle. I wanted to provide the whole overview, let them hire us. We'll take care of everything and take the headaches away from you. So we started out doing some home renos and stuff like that. But I quickly gained some popularity in a network of real estate investors. And about a year ago, made that my niche. So we work with only real estate investors now in investment properties. So it's going really well.
So this is a bit of a family business too, right? A bit of history.
So it started as my father. He had a business. I joined him first as he got on in age and kind of lost the drive. I started my own business a little bit separate of his, but we kind of trade places. He didn't want to quit altogether, so he works for me now. But so that's what we're doing.
Cool, dude. So, you know, when we look at whether or not this is for you, Mr. or Mrs. or whatever listener, I just want to emphasize this. I usually say something like this at the beginning of the podcast because I really don't want you to waste your freaking time if this is actually going to be a waste for you. So if you're not serious about change, okay? If you're not serious about taking some tactics that are proven and putting them into your contracting business to actually get some positive change with them, then you're at the wrong place, okay? There's no magic wand. I'll say it a million times, but there are definitely strategies. There's a way to go about this, a better way to go about it. And Jeff is a prime example that, you know, these principles work. Okay. So when Jeff starts going through some of the challenges, then we start talking about the solutions, pay close attention. You know, does it resonate with you? And if it does resonate with you, fucking, you know, hit the pause button, you know, write it down, fucking, you know, decide, hey, I'm going to do something about this. Okay. Again, if you're not that person that's willing to take some sort of action, don't waste your fucking time. drive to the job site and just listen to the radio. Don't listen to this. Okay. So that's who it's for. It's not for. No bullshit. So Jeff, my man, let's talk a little bit about some of the challenges that you've had to face and you overcome some of them you're still overcoming. But let's talk about, when we go back to before you came to PFC, what were some of the biggest challenges that you had?
Sure, man. So we grew quickly, like I said, and got into this niche with real estate investors. So getting clients and kind of growing was not an issue. That was kind of where we excelled. The issue was being on the tools myself all the time, being super busy, running the business and being on the tools. It was super hard to properly manage my business. So as PFC always says, being, in the business instead of working on the business. Yeah. And that was a huge problem for me. So until I joined PFC, I didn't really, do a gut check and figure out where I was really at. They helped me realize I wasn't looking at the numbers, nor did I have the means to do it. I didn't have a way to track the numbers properly. It's a little embarrassing, but this is the No Bullshit podcast. So I didn't know which jobs made money and which jobs lost money. Okay, which I know it's typical, but it's embarrassing for me because I take a lot of pride.
Neither do I.
Take a lot of pride. I take a lot of pride in what I do. But the bottom line is, with being so busy, I was so busy just pushing jobs along and getting more work. And I was just, push. I wasn't ever working on the business or taking the time. So PFC helped me take a look at that and help me actually sit down to become a CEO rather than just pushing the business forward without knowing what the hell is going on. So when I looked at everything, it starts to become very obvious. It's kind of like someone taking that window and cleaning it off so you can see outside. So then all of a sudden I start to understand my numbers better. I know where I'm making money, where I'm losing money, who my best guys are, who should be a supervisor, which clients are good, which ones are bad. I mean, how do you not know the numbers? And that's why I'm embarrassed, because I was doing it without knowing the numbers. And that's been one of the huge pieces of the puzzle for me.
Interesting. So, somebody's listening on this and they're like, fuck, here, goes Andrew again and here's this Jeff guy talking about numbers again. Okay. So here's something that, if you listen to some of these podcasts, that this is a core principle. You've got to know your numbers, but
sure.
Let me get down into the nuts and bolts of something which I really want the listener to get benefit from, which is they're probably driving in the truck, or they're at the office, or they got a fucking stack of quotes, a bunch of invoices that can't go, I got it. And the list is endless. Okay.
Always.
So right. And you know what I'm talking about, dude, right?
Oh yeah.
Like we're fucking, busy becomes part of our DNA of what defines us. I must be successful if I'm busy. So I want to talk about we're going to talk about the mindset, but before we get into the mindset, I want to talk about it a little bit on the tactic side. Like,
sure.
Okay. Like, hey, Jeff, that's all fine and dandy, dude. But like, where the fuck do I start? How do I get out of this tornado, man, that I'm in? Like, Jeff, I got to get these quotes out. I've got all this, I got to do stuff. How did you slow down? You heard me say this, right? Slow down to speed up, right? You've heard me say that, right?
Yes. And that's exactly the advice I was using. So it was, okay. So I haven't got less busy. What I've done is change my mindset of, fighting fires is, well, I'm busy, so I'm successful. Like you just nailed it when you said that. That was a huge one. So I had to shift my mindset as well to, let's call it pay it forward to the future me. So default some time. Yeah, somebody's waiting for a quote. Yeah, they're pissed off. Yeah, that didn't get done when I said it would get done. I get it because I don't have enough hours in the day, but I wanted to do my future self a favor and learn my numbers so I didn't have to do as many jobs. So I didn't have to be as busy. So I could make enough profit off each job to actually, let's say, profit, actually have cash in the bank. Not that roller coaster that we know is way too common, where I'm broke this week, I'm rich next week, I'm broke this week, I'm rich. You know what? It happens. Yeah, and it happens. And why does it happen? Well, I didn't know until I joined PFC. So a shameless plug for you guys. I don't get commission, guys. I'm just being honest about the PFC. When I joined PFC, that I started to understand these things.
So let's just pause. Let's just pause.
Yeah, sure.
Come back. So you got out of your headspace that busy is the way to go. And you realize that, you had to focus in on certain things and default certain things.
Yes.
And sometimes at the sacrifice.
100%.
Right.
100%.
So it's not like you magically, had all this extra time. You had to basically make the time to work on certain things. And by the way, I will stress this. You didn't mention this, but I know you know this. It's certain things in a certain order.
Absolutely.
Like, I can't stress this enough. If you're a listener, there's an order in which you have to do these things. Okay. Am I right, Jeff?
Yeah. So that brings me to the point of what you're saying about time. So I had to at first just default it and eat it. Some things fell off the table. Here's the best part. I started to learn to figure out which of those things was least important. I started to learn how to filter fast and get rid of people wasting my fucking time, because it was happening over and over. And I spent hours and hours and hours on a quote, and they would come back to me like, my budget's 20 grand lower than that, so I don't think it'll work. Why the hell didn't I ask them what their budget was before I did the quote? Because I didn't think of it. Well, so it's these small distinctions.
Because you're busy.
Right. Because I'm running on the hamster wheel. So I had to start taking a look at some of the systems that you guys have and really considering how to implement them and give it a try, I think was the big one. Get out of my head, stop being in panic mode, and ask myself, hey, what if I start implementing this even a little bit at a time and see how it goes? I started filtering fast, getting rid of D clients, getting rid of people who wasted my time. I had, on a regular basis, I would have a real estate investor call me to go look at a house that they didn't even purchase yet, thinking that I would get some kind of favor with them later. And then I found out that I would waste 5-6 hours. I'd travel there. I'd give them an estimate. They would know whether or not to buy the house. And most of the time they wouldn't. Oh, well, that doesn't work with my numbers, so I'm not buying the house. What the hell about my time? I started charging $500 if you want a ballpark estimate for a house you don't own. I started implementing these things to steal my time back, to not let these people constantly take my time.
Okay. So everybody listening in, I'm just going to re-emphasize, okay, some of the things that Jeff has said. Okay, bro, this is fucking awesome. All right. This is awesome. So here's the thing, everybody listening in, when you start off with this, no bullshit. All right. It's going to take some time. You're going to have to, but I don't have time. You're going to have to sacrifice. Okay. So sacrifice is the beginning step. Something has to be sacrificed, right? And the reality is that what Jeff started to realize really quickly, and I mean, Jeff, you tell me, no bullshit, man. This didn't take 6 fucking months for you to start filtering faster. No. This didn't take 6 months for you to start getting better utilization of your time. It was probably within weeks.
Yep, absolutely. Here's the best part. The more I sacrificed to put into PFC and learning, the more results I got. Okay, it's like if I practice math every day for 9 hours a day, I'm going to get better faster. If I do it for 1 minute a day or 5 minutes a day, I'm not going to get good as fast.
Right.
So I had to make a choice. And obviously there's a balance there somewhere, because I couldn't just say, hey, fuck my business, I'm doing PFC right now. I got to eat, and so do my kids.
Yes.
But what I had to do was slowly start stealing blocks of time.
Yep.
And working on something that would make a difference in my business, and then implementing it. Learn, action, learn, action.
Yeah.
That's it.
Totally. And so for the listener, here's what I want you to ask yourself. Okay. So is this approach right for you? We're going to see in about fucking 30 seconds. All right. So ask yourself this question. Do you have any fucking class D clients, deadbeat clients, that fucking deadbeat prospects as well? The ones that, like Jeff was talking about, hey man,
I need you to drive out here for 5 fucking hours, and and I need all your input, and I need all your fucking your IP in your head, and I'm not going to call you back and give you any fucking work. Okay? Do you have any of those people? Do you have any of these people that you're actually doing work for? You've been doing work for, and fucking they don't pay you. They use you as a goddamn bank. Do you have team members? Okay, guys, honestly, think about this. You're driving your fucking truck and you're listening. Just answer it. It's a fucking yes or it's a no. It's not like, I need to think about this. No. Okay. If I was to ask you this question, if you were to fire everybody in your company right now, would you hire them all back? And I think I know what the fucking answer is. Okay. So, and I'm going to give you one last one, right? Yeah, you like that one, eh, Jeff?
I love it.
All right. So, and that applies that question. Let's apply that question to your, if you were to fire, get rid of all your clients, okay, would you bring them back again? And the answer is going to be fucking no. Okay. Back to your suppliers. If you look at all your suppliers, a same freaking question. Would you if you were to fire them all, would you bring them all back? Are they doing enough for you? Are they helping you out enough? Do they have your back? Honestly. Okay. Guys. So from your team to your clients, to your suppliers. Okay. And this is just skimming the frickin' surface, okay? And we're skimming the surface today because there's not a one is, okay, that is a contractor today that you couldn't improve one of those areas, okay? So back to Jeff and what he's saying. Think about how much time, let alone money, has been sacrificed, is being sacrificed, and is going to keep on being sacrificed, including your family's fucking time, your head time, because this never turns off, right, Jeff?
No, never, right? Ever.
Right. And so if you're saying to yourself, I don't know if I have time to do this kind of thing, you're completely bullshitting yourself. Jeff took the action. You can take the same freaking action, okay? So that's a bit of the rant on that front, okay, regarding time and where you get started. That goes back to the original question I had about where do you start? So, dude, you answered it perfectly because it's the reality of it, okay? No bullshit, right? No bullshit. So,
and no excuses, no fucking excuses. I worked 75 hours a week when I joined up for PFC, 75 fucking hours. And I found a way to right off the bat, I said, this is fucking important. This has got to be done if I want to make a change. Because again, if we're not bullshitting, my wife's sick of it. She can't deal with this shit anymore. So in January, I said, okay, I got to do something. I got to make a fucking change or I'm not going to be married anymore. Right. And yeah, she drives me nuts sometimes, but I don't want to go that far. So I said, I'll make a change. I sought you guys out and I'm doing it. It's about taking action, not making fucking excuses. You can have one or the other. You can have excuses or you can have results, but you can't have both.
Dude, it's, you know what, isn't it like you're just hitting the nail on the freaking head here. Okay. Like in all honesty, when we look at it, it really is a matter of a choice, right? It really is a matter of a choice, right? So, either you're going to choose the listeners are going to choose to do something about this, and there's something that you can do about it, or you're not. So let's talk a little bit about some of the things that other areas that you've made progress on. So let's talk. If you were to look at one of the things as far as like building a team, tell us a little bit about where things were at as far as a team and where you're at now regarding the team.
Okay, yeah, sure. So the team's come a long way. I was, when I joined, still running like a chicken with my head cut off from site to site to site, sometimes 3-4 different projects on the go at a time. This is embarrassing again. I was delivering materials. I was a fucking delivery boy. I was implementing the two together to be efficient, I thought. So I get the materials, I go to the site, I'd run through the place going, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. And then I jump my truck, drive another 20 minutes and do it again. And then and you get the idea. So one of the first things I implemented was I sat down, I looked at the guys I had. There was a couple guys who I thought could be great supervisors and all that. So I set up a meeting with the employees and these three fellows. I gave them more money. I upgraded them to supervisors. And then I went over everything that they were going to do.
Roles and responsibilities.
Roles and responsibilities. And I said, now, because I also had an accountability problem, right? So with all these guys having no supervisors and no one to answer to but me, every time I showed up at the job, I was not impressed with something. Everyone would point at each other. It was that guy. It was that guy. It was that. So again, supervisor, you guys are now in charge. You're accountable. These guys answer to you. You answer to me. So that's one of the big changes. Another one's just around our culture.
That's a huge change, man, by the way.
Absolutely. I don't go to job sites. I go like once or twice a week now. Now I can sit down in the office and literally focus on the business, focus on growing the business, relationships with customers, awesome. Picking the right customers, and doing things that are way more fucking valuable than a Home Depot delivery that I can get taken there for $100.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. You know what? You know what's incredible about this is I know you're hard on yourself. Okay. you're a hard ass on yourself, dude.
Yep. Always.
Let's just call it as it is. For most people listening in, now I'm going to say the 90 percentile. Okay. You're similar to Jeff. Now I'm going to tell you, what does that mean? You have the right intentions. Your heart, if there's one thing that I've found with contractors, for the most part, like big time for the most part, your heart is in the right place. In other words, you have the right intentions. So this isn't bashing you if you're driving right now to a job site delivering material, right? You know, if you're on the fucking job site right now,
yeah,
and you just came off doing a walkthrough and you're fucking losing your marbles on all the guys on the site. Okay. Honestly, you're not alone. First of all,
no.
Secondly, you know, you're trying to do this with the right intention, right, Jeff? You were trying to do
100%,
right?
And nothing but love. I've made the mistake. Right. All that I'm trying to do is tell you there is a better way. Right. That you don't have to make all these mistakes, and you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
I had no idea they were mistakes.
Right.
I thought I was killing it.
Well, guess what? Most contractors were doing it the same way and are doing it the same way that you were doing it. And so we don't know any different, man. Like, you know what? Hey, I'm going to be the good freaking employer. I'll go pick up the fucking material. I'll deliver it to you. You can keep working.
Yeah.
And you know, that's a good place for me to spend my time. Guys, it's so far from, you know, I think we tell ourselves these stories because we have such big hearts. Okay. And hopefully the listener, this is an awesome fucking podcast because I'm loving this one because there's so many people, inclusive of me, when you're rehashing some of the shit that you were doing, I'm like in my head going, I remember when I was in the fucking truck, man. And my biggest struggle was like, how do I got to deliver all this material. I got 5 or 6 fucking jobs on the go. And I'd be like, which one do I go first? That was like I was all stressed out.
Right.
Like,
and then you're losing your fucking mind when you're on site. I think the guys thought I was fucking crazy and needed to be medicated. Because I was always in such a hurry. I would run in the job site, carrying shit, point the first 2 guys I see, fuck, get the shit out of the truck, run through, looking at stuff. How the fuck am I supposed to have quality work? I wasn't looking. I was running past stuff, pretending I gave a shit because I wanted to, but I didn't have the time to.
This is it. Yeah, this is it, man. So putting structure in place, absolutely huge. So anybody listening in, look, you can't. My father used to say this. Okay, he was a farmer and he was a tower crane operator. Okay, and so he'd be up in these big high rises, and and I was obviously in the trades and stuff like that. And my dad come home and he's like, I'm like, Dad, how'd your day go? And he'd be like, it's a fucking gong show, Andy. And I say, what's? I say, yeah, Dad, you always say it's a fucking gong show. He says, you know why? He's like, I go, why? He's like, too many fucking white hats. Like, he goes, I sit up there on my perch, and he goes, I look down, and all I see is fucking these white hats. And like, he goes, and there's nobody really wearing the hat. And I didn't. I sort of got it because I was in the trades then, but I was just too busy being an electrician and learning my skill and all the rest of that. But, you know, when I had my own business, and I remember it hitting me, and it was a similar thing. I had all these guys, 20, 30 fucking guys working for me type of thing. And nobody was accountable to fucking anybody. It was like, I call it, this will relate to you, man, this analogy. I call it the spider web effect. I was the spider in the web, and every fucking thing that was every bad thing, especially that was going on, came right back to me. Like, that works great for a spider, right? Yeah,
Sure.
That's perfect for a spider. But for an owner of a company, if you're listening in, are you caught in your own spider web is a great question to think about, because you can't run a business like the spider web. You've got to have, like, Jeff, what you just said, man, you made a decision. You put people in a level of authority and accountability. You compensated them appropriately. Okay. And that allowed you to have the right layers of management and accountability. So you didn't have to get down into the weeds of things. You're getting involved with the right level of engagement and conversation. Explain what I'm trying to say to people.
So just a quick example of what you're saying. So the spider web thing, here's the thing. So when I made these guys supervisors, I also told the employees, so the first meeting supervisors, second one was all the employees. Welcome to your new supervisors. These guys have been promoted. We're contractors. I don't got to fluff this up. I looked at them. I said, no fucking bullshit. This is your supervisor. You answer to him now, not me. If you got a fucking problem with it, there's the door. Otherwise, let's get our shit together. Let's move on and start making things better. So I made a huge point to tell the guys, nobody calls me but the supervisors. Now, the reason for that was, oh my God, the phone calls. This guy did this and he changed my radio station. And oh, my hamster died and I'm going to be late tomorrow. And I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, what am I doing with my life? I'm a glorified babysitter. I'm supposed to be the owner of this fucking company. Right. And a guy breaks a toenail and he calls me and wastes 20 minutes of my fucking day. So I gave them their orders. You got it. This is the guy who takes care of it now. And I don't want to hear one.
Here's the other thing, okay? So people are listening in. They're like, okay, all right, Jeff, it's resonating with me, okay?
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask Jeff this question, and guys, pay close attention to this, okay? So if you've made a decision as you're in your truck or in the office or whatever, like, fucking, I got to do some of this shit that's on this podcast. Good on you, okay? Now, here's the question, right? How important was it that you followed through?
It's the only thing that makes a difference. Like anything in life.
Because they're going to, in the beginning, their habit is to go around.
Oh, 100%. The follow through, making them, holding them accountable and taking action. So I'd get a call after that day. There was a few that dared to still call me about their dead hamster. And I had to be tough. Listen, buddy, I'm sorry your hamster died. You shouldn't be calling me. Talk to your supervisor if you're going to be late. Period. Hang up the phone. That's it. I couldn't keep coddling everybody. Yeah. I'm not their daddy. And that's what I had to do. And trust me, that wasn't an easy thing for me to do because I am the nice guy. I always have been. But if you want to own a business and you want it to run well and make profit, which is the dream or you wouldn't have started it, then these are the things you have to do. You have to get uncomfortable. You got to make some changes. You might not be comfortable with all of them, but you got to follow through regardless.
And you know what, everybody listening in, I want you to understand that it's in the best interest. It's not just in the best interest. How do I put this? Those people that are reporting to the supervisors of Jeff's company, okay, they're actually getting better support than they would going directly to Jeff, okay, in so many different ways, because those supervisors, they are, their feet are on the ground. They're fucking running the jobs. So just understand something, okay? The NICE acronym, I've got an acronym for NICE, okay? Nothing inside me cares enough. Okay. Nothing inside me cares enough. Look at, honestly, if you keep on being nice,
Yeah.
you know, in the reference that we're talking about today, and trying to be the nice owner, the nice owner that delivers material, the nice owner that everybody can go to. I'm going to tell you right now, you're not honestly caring enough. Okay. Because back to that acronym, nothing inside me cares enough, because you're not really supporting the guys at the level that they need to be supported, even though you got the right intention, you know? So I'm not saying be a dick, but stop being nice, you know, like put the right structure in place so that people can have accountability. People want to actually be held accountable. Would you agree, Jeff?
Yeah, it's just like children. They respect you more when you hold them accountable, when there's rules, when there's boundaries.
Totally.
Our brain wants that. It likes that. And most people work better that way. So if you don't do it, you're not doing them any favors either.
Exactly.
They think you are. They want to be your friend. I get it. These guys, you know, some of them felt like friends because before I got off the tools, we were working side by side. But again, I realized I had to separate myself because being down there on the tools with them was not giving me any time to optimize and run my business. And I was losing money. I didn't know it, but I was. I'd be bankrupt by now had I not made some changes, put it that way.
You know what? And this might be sensitive, okay, to some people, but this is the No Bullshit podcast, okay? In a lot of cases, guys, we are addicted. We have, you know, addictions to certain things, okay? And one of the things that we end up being an addict to is we end up being an addict to this, this almost like a cortisone shot whereby we get a high off of I delivered material. Oh, you know, right? It's true, man. It's fucking true. Would you agree?
Yeah. Oh, I'm a superhero.
I get in the truck. I just fucking gave these guys shit and fucking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're like, woo! You know?
Accurate. It's accurate.
Right? If my fucking adrenaline and my blood pressure is not fucking at 200 over fucking 90,
absolutely.
Then I'm not fucking working hard. I'm not fucking doing my thing. Like, no, guys. No, you don't need to be in this fucking state of like addicted to goddamn chaos.
That's a huge distinction. So you get addicted to the chaos, addicted to be on the site. So just some more perspective on that. You know, when I first started getting off the tools, the guys would bug me. I had to deal with them bugging me. Oh, there's office guy and his soft hands and all this shit. Now, they were too buddy with me, so they felt like they could joke with me. I can take a joke, but I had to start dealing with a different identity. It was tough to peel myself away from the guy who was on site, grinding it out, dangerous, and if there was a problem, I was right in the thick of it with them. And that was a piece of my identity. And I had to let it go. Okay? I had to let it go, or I was never going to get to where I should actually be sitting, which is above, at the top. Not because I'm an asshole or better than anybody, but because from there I can oversee things. Now, when a big problem comes in, I'm calm. You know why? I don't have a second big problem right beside me going off. Right. I can think about it.
Yes.
I can walk guys through things. I call it quarterbacking. Okay. Yeah. Without a quarterback, you're no good.
Yeah.
So imagine your quarterback is running the ball with the running backs. How the fuck is he calling plays? He's not. No. And that's what I see myself as now. I'm the quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, you know, as a matter of fact, when you were on the field, using that analogy, you were fucking on, you're all at the same time. You're on offense, you're on fucking defense, you're fucking quarterbacking. You're like an undiagnosed version of schizophrenia.
You're like, the coach, the cheerleader.
You're the fucking cheerleader. You're all at the same time. Like, it's an undiagnosed version of schizophrenia.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. In a business way, because you're wearing all these hats. Like, guys, you can change these things, okay? And it doesn't, I'm not saying it's a magic wand, but if you just even take the strategies, the tactics that Jeff talked about today, if Jeff can do it, I could do it. If these thousands of other champion CEOs can do it, you guys can do it as well, okay? Pick, you know, one of these things, and I would highly invest Yeah, or suggest, sorry, not invest. Well, it's invest and suggest. I would highly suggest that you take the mindset and just realize that you've got to put some time in to make these changes. Okay, that's the first place. I'm sort of giving you guys a bit of a plan of action here. Okay. Next thing that I would have you guys do is make sure that you got that right level of authority and accountability in your company, because it's got to stop coming back to you, every fucking thing. Okay. The right things have got to come to you. Okay. Not everything has to come to you. Okay. I don't care if you got a 3-person team or 100 fucking person team. The principle is the principle. Okay. Take some of the steps that Jeff did, gather the fucking troops, pick a couple of leaders, or as many leaders are, that you've got that are needed, put them in a role of responsibility and accountability, and compensate them appropriately. Because I'm going to tell you what, well, you tell me, Jeff, when you compensated these guys, how has all these things impacted your bottom line profitability?
Better. I make more money now. These guys, one of my fucking supervisors is a goddamn superhero. This guy was meek. I call him a contracting nun. He doesn't swear. He doesn't drink coffee. He doesn't drink booze. And he was a quiet, just doing his thing kind of guy. I made him a fucking supervisor. He is an absolute boss. He is running the shit, not taking shit, making sure these guys are on task, doing what they're supposed to do. It's unbelievable, the uptick in his productivity and the other guys on his site.
Yeah, it's amazing when the owner of a company steps it up and he allows his team to step it up, what the potential is that you've got right now. A lot of guys might be listening in right now and they're like, I'm in fucking chaos. And I know we've been in a lot of the recent podcasts, we've been giving you guys strategies on how to find people, hire them, how to build an A team and all the rest of that. I cannot stress this enough. Okay. Focus, first of all, instead of asking yourself, who do I need to hire? Okay. Ask yourself this question. Like, what does my current organization need to look like with the guys that I've got? Okay. Jeff did that with the guys that he had, and he got more productive. He made more profits. He's able to pay his fucking guys more, and he's making more money. Like, if that's not an investment, guys, like, what is? Like, that's what building a business is all about. So every single one of you is, you might be like, I'll do this once I hire somebody and I free up time. No. That's the wrong. Would you agree, Jeff?
I already did that. I made these excuses. That's why I'm laughing. I did this. I made these excuses before January. And
what were some of the excuses? I got to hire somebody and then I free up some time. What was it?
I can't afford it. Right. I don't have time to look for somebody. Right. I don't have time to do coaching. It's too expensive. Like, literally just mostly time, money. But I always had an excuse that held me back until I forced myself to do it. And I'll give you the big secret. Every contractor who's never been through coaching is charging too little. Increase your prices. You just paid for coaching. You're welcome.
I love, dude.
End the show. Drop the mic. It's over. Fuck. But that is literally the secret. And that's the secret that paid for my coaching and now has more than paid for my coaching. As far as your time, you're fucking lying to yourself. Like, every person out there who says, I don't have time to go to the gym, the truth is you prioritize the gym lower than the rest of your shit.
It's true.
That's all. It's not a matter of how much time you have, because you have 24 hours and so does Elon Musk. Yep. It's what you prioritize.
Yep.
That's it. It's just a matter of shuffling the priority, and now you have time. Whatever the hell it is you put at the top,
yep.
If that's collecting fucking buttons, you'll be the best damn button collector ever. But
or delivery material guy.
Right? Or you can be your own Home Depot delivery guy and pay the gas money that you could just give to them to deliver it. That's up to you.
I love it. So let's talk about, last little thing. What's the future look like for Jeff, the rock star Jeff?
It's huge, buddy. It's bright. It's bright. I see the sunshine. I'm sailing away on a boat. No, for real. I I see a lot more time in my future. So far I went from 75 hours. I'm probably down to about 65. Not a massive change, but significant. I've defaulted Saturdays for my family. Not one fucking phone call do I do on Saturdays now. The profits are getting better. They're getting more consistent. So I don't have this up, down, up, down. That's starting to straighten out. And then just looking to round out the crew with the A players I want and start picking and choosing my clients better. So
that's pretty.
I see
quite the vision.
Big changes.
And here's the nice thing, right? Is that you have the tickle trunk of tools and strategies, and you've got the coaches, the back you've got the people, you got the family, at Prop for Contractors, and the other champion CEOs that have been there, done that, or doing it. And so, if there was one last piece of advice that, somebody's listening in right now, whether it's a repeat of what you said or something new, what would be, what would you say to somebody to get them to make that shift? What would be your last words of wisdom?
Making a decision or not making a decision is still a choice.
Yep. It's
okay.
A choice,
so you either choose to stay the same, or you choose to do something and change. The choice is completely yours, but it's still a choice. So if your business is shit in the bed, constantly in chaos, you're not making any money, you can't make ends meet some days, and then you're rich the next, then all I have to say is make a decision. Are you okay with living that way and the constant stress and this being the way it is? Or do you have a vision of your business that is bigger and better? And then you just choose which one you want.
It's, what, dude, I'm not even going to add anything to that. I'm telling you, I'm not adding fucking anything to that. It's
beautiful.
It really is a choice,
Absolutely.
I think that's probably one of the biggest things is to realize after this podcast, you guys have been listening for whatever, 30 minutes or whatever. Just listen to what Jeff is saying. It really is a choice. There's people in this world, God forbid, something health-wise goes wrong with somebody, and somebody doesn't have a choice. Okay. There's somebody, some person, God forbid, was in a car accident or, all these bad things and that can happen just by chance. Okay. This is not one of them. This is definitely not one of them. And for something that takes up the majority of your time on this fucking planet, and to understand that you can actually choose for it to be better for you, for your family, for your team, for your clients, for your supply, for everybody around you, it's a choice. Okay. It's no longer, I wonder if. It's an actual fucking choice, And so ignorance tax is what I call it. You ever heard me bring up ignorance tax?
I've never heard that one.
Yeah. So ignorance tax is for these, especially the listeners. Okay. Ignorance tax is when you know that there's a better way to do something, but you choose ignorance. And the tax on that is your time. The tax on that is is how your family sees you, how your team sees you. The tax is all those negative things that are happening when you had a fucking choice. Okay. Prior to listening to this podcast, maybe this is the first time you listen to this. Okay. Maybe you've listened to so many other podcasts that we have here, but you cannot debate that Jeff has given you strategies that have actually proven they're working. They're moving his business forward. They're moving his life forward. And now you cannot be ignorant to it. And if you are, well, then you're going to get the tax.
It reminds me of a great quote. If you think the cost of education is a lot, wait till you see the cost of ignorance.
Dude, that's fucking gold, Jerry. That totally goes with it.
It's a great quote. I love it.
That is, and it's true, isn't it? All right, man. 100%. Listen, I'm super proud of you. You're kicking fucking ass. You're making progress. You're making decisions. You've stepped it up. You're constantly stepping it up. You bring a lot to this family at Prop for Contractors, and you brought a shit ton to today's podcast. So big thanks from me, from all the listeners. Man, this has been gold. Again, everybody, just take one fucking thing. You don't have to take it all. Just take one thing, take action on it, and you will see the change.
Absolutely.
That's it, man. So that's another no. What's that?
All right. Thank you.
Hey, man, thank you. So that's another No Bullshit podcast from myself and the man, Jeff Lee. You guys can make a difference in your business, and I will see you on the next No Bullshit podcast where we will rock the house and bring you guys more content, no bullshit. And I'll see you on the flip side. Later.
Hey, rock stars, thank you for watching the No Bullshit podcast for contractors. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the subscribe button. And if you're serious about growing and need help, click on the link below. Myself and my team would love to help and give you the necessary tools so you can take your contracting business to the next level. And remember, dominate, delegate, and deliver.